You're absolutely gorgeous. I would love to chat to get to know you, perhaps meet and hang out soon. If you were up for that sort of thing, for sure. Thank you, by the way. How's the day going? So, do you have a license card and your own place, as in live by yourself? I do. BTW? Apologies. I do not speak hick, ghetto, or third part. And I hate abbreviations. You went to school for a reason. So, spell out your words. Just saying, LOL. So, he gets offended over BTW and yet he uses LOL? I'm 90% sure the next line he's gonna type is explaining about why LOL is an exception. Oh, me just telling people about the truth of July 4th? It's not even celebrating freedom of slaves anymore. It's just fireworks and barbecues. It was never about freeing slaves. It was about America's independence from Britain. This isn't even someone trying to sound smart, it's just someone being dumb. I heard a great quote today. When someone is speaking with a strong foreign accent, remember dummy, it means they know more than one language. I speak more than one language and I don't have an accent in any one of them. If someone speaks with an accent, it just means they are lazy. And 119 people agreed with him? I'm 13. I've been studying quantum physics, astrophysics, and the likes for years, recently at a university level. I have some interesting hypotheses about time and its relationship to the universe. How do I publish my findings? So smart when it comes to quantum physics, but can't figure out how publishing works. So, even the smartest of people are just like us. You were the smart kid in kindergarten, am I right? After it was on preschool, I was that kid who wrecked the teacher with facts and logic and she couldn't stand me. We would often get into 3-hour-long political debates in class too. No grade school teacher is going to have a 3-hour-long political debate in the middle of class. And no grade school class is 3 hours long. I feel, as a writer, I have reached the limits of our language and culture. The ideas I want to express simply don't have a vocabulary or a language and thus a meaning in English at all. French, Spanish, and many others. A smart modern way of saying, I have no idea what to write about. Maybe just make up some words. Interviewer. So what's your email ID? Candidate. Sir, I'm an Indian at gmail.com. Interviewer. And password? Candidate. 12345678. Interviewer. You're so dumb. You shared such confidential information so easily for the job. How can we trust that you will not share any confidential information about the company for some better offers? Candidate. Sir, I might have shared my password with you, but I don't think you can still log into my email account. Let's look for the possibilities. My password can be 12345678 or 12345678 in figures or 12345678. 12345678, so on, or 123456 and 7 8. By the way, did I mention the use of capitals? Interviewer. How much salary will you take? Or combination of all of these. Candidate. I refuse to accept your offer, sir. Because I don't want to work under dumb people. Never underestimate job seekers. Oof, the amount of thought that went into this. But let me tell you, this talk only works when written. I have a feeling that I wrote the longest response and I'm no older than 13 years old. I think I truly have an excessive writing problem. Oh, do you other? Can't believe I was trying to be sociable and replied to a girl's story saying, "We'd love to be friends with you," and she replied back, "All the slots are filled ATM. I'm gonna lie down. I'm never trying to be friendly again. Why are girls so mean to other girls? The connection between the dorsomedial prefrontal cortex and amygdala is weaker in women than in men. The MPFC is involved in cognitive process, perception, emotions, and the amygdala is a threat detection. Biologically and subconsciously, women treat other women as competition. And a lot of big words to say, women think other women bad. And you know, there's always that one person who took biology class in high school that lectures you on how biology works for both men and women. A new order requires Dallas County businesses to mandate masks on premises. It's more symbolism over substance if you ask me. I have seen the study, I'm not sure if it's solid science. In fact, it may do more harm than good. World Health Organization recommends the opposite. What if in fact we are lowering our immune system? So when we take them off, we get sick again, this time something we would normally fight off because we have built up immunity. We are messing with forces we have no clue about how they work. Humans have always been ignorant in the eyes of science. The study of quantum physics can't tell you this, or just history. Genius, quantum physics literally has nothing to do with the disease. And what did he say? We are messing with forces we have no clue about how they work? Just because you have no clue, it doesn't mean others don't have as well. Also, this guy has good news for the kids in college. Study history or quantum physics. It's all the same. I'm smart enough to understand that bipartisanship is nothing but a tool of division. I knew all this was coming ahead of time. I called the racial tension. I knew virus was coming because I'm a lot smarter than you and have reached a level of consciousness you will never be able to attain. You are a complete example of how the Marxists brainwash unintelligent people to hate and then call out other people for being individuals. Oh, he knew it. He knew all of that but still can't spell new. And he said what? Cooperation between political parties creates division? What? For this guy, bipartisanship equals a division. Yeah, his third eye is open. Hey, stupid. We, who has literally told teachers who teach at a prestige school and they didn't believe me it could even exist. So the guy just confusing it because he never heard it before is really mild. What are you talking about? I'm talking about being ambidextrous. Though forced to choose a hand to write with. And telling some teachers at my sister's school about it. They said, that's impossible, everyone has a dominant hand. So yeah, this is mild, saying as it's not common to be ambidextrous and some people who are supposed to be highly intelligent somehow cannot comprehend the possibility of not having a dominant hand. And it's also supportive of the LGBT plus community, so I don't know why they had to call that guy stupid at all. Let me be honest with you, I still don't get what he's saying. And how is this connected with LGBT community? You guys like statistics, right? If an IQ test proves you're able to retain more information and comprehend it faster 80% of the time, does that mean you're 80% smarter? Just saying most people don't know trigonometry or what particle physics even means. Mensa 151. And the number of spell mistakes in this comment cannot be measured by any means of statistics. And he's too smart, so he used "you're" instead of "you are." I use big words to look smart. Oops, I utilize an expanded vocabulary to fabricate intelligence. Sometimes people use big words that they themselves don't fully understand, but in order to make themselves appear smart. I have 165 IQ, see, and so can I be a national leader? Bro, my IQ is 137, so I feel much smarter now. Phew, at least mine has an IQ of 123. I have 124 IQ. I feel like I'm actually dumb because actually a bigger IQ than a lot of good politicians. Cool. I have 124 IQ and apparently it can change. I wonder whether it will be alright to rule the US in 5 years when I'm 18? I have 143 IQ. It looks like I could rule almost all of these countries. I have 160 IQ, which is max for us in Switzerland. But I would keep going to the max in other tests, for example, a 175 or 200. And why is that the dumbest people are always the first to mention IQ? And one of them straight up admitted that he was 13. Would you rather have $1 million in your bank account or an IQ of plus 145? And you? Not to seem braggy, but my IQ is already over that, so I'll take the money. So he just made the post to brag about his IQ. Also, ignorance is bliss. I'll just take the cash. Also, being rich and a bit dumb is the best thing that can ever happen to you. And I'm still single. Cause apparently no one likes a girl who sits at home reading Shakespeare and studying a medical degree in vintage clothes. Same, except change medical degree to MFA in scenic design. Why don't men like smart women anymore though? For real though. I think maybe the sit-at-home part is making it a little difficult. What do you expect from them? To break in and ask you out? How are people supposed to meet them when they're home reading all the time? Skewed and inaccurate. Your test is geared entirely towards a right brain activity, and so is skewed and inaccurate. Having taken hundreds of IQ tests in my life, not to mention holding multiple postgraduate technical degrees with CGPAs of a 3.5 or better, the first of which I achieved at the age of 21. I'm well aware of my IQ, which is significantly above average. Your so-called test put me in what is generally considered to be a mentally challenged range. Maybe you would better rethink your test. If his IQ is so high, then he would be smart enough to realize that any online IQ test is crap. And who the hell takes hundreds of IQ tests? I'm not saying climate scientists are stupider than me or anything. We both know that they are. But they get paid to believe in this stuff. It's in the name, climate science. If they turn around and say, actually there's nothing to see here, then they stop getting funding, so obviously they are going to propagate the story. And your CO2 point, it doesn't make sense. How can the Earth be in perfect balance but a tiny bit more CO2 is gonna ruin everything? Well, I mean, look at the damage one extra chromosome has done to you. Does this person know what climate is? But can you backspace? No, that's why you need to be well trained and educated to use this tool. Only the superior minds can do it. Yeah, you truly need to be highly intelligent to use a freaking typewriter. The people who act like roadmen, most of them are not as smart as people who don't. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Indeed. Just to make sure you know, I'm smart, most of them are dumb. This kid thinks he's more mature than any other 12-year-old. Fully aware that I sound like an arrogant person, but after 15 years of clinical depression, I'm always let down by the fact that I'm more intelligent than the therapists I have had so far. They have nothing to say that I don't already know. Oh, this guy and his arrogance. He is simply refusing help and trying to justify it as big brain time. Pop music does nothing but to exploit human basal functions and insecurities. Metal is a form of art that has led to generation of complex masterpieces your puny minds can't comprehend. Call us elitist, doesn't matter, we are elitist. We control your world and you are too stupid to do anything about it. Oh, can't people just leave other people alone for what they like? So you just got accepted into college, right? Nope, I'm a 13-year-old 8th grader in middle school with honors, paranoid about my future life and how it would turn out. I've decided my career now, I'm gonna build it up at this age so I don't waste time as an adult. I wanna be a lawyer. I too went after school debate class and now I'm going for YouTube, looking up on Google and asking my teachers what I need to do for college. Yep, 13-year-olds these days. Leave the kid alone, he will cringe at this 10 years from now. And also, good luck for your future. I'm a 14-year-old religion, quantum mechanics and astrology expert. Ask me anything. What does astrology and relation have to do with quantum mechanics? You'll have to forgive me if I'm ready to call crap on your expertise. Astrology is a pseudoscience on star signs and planet positions affect people. Quantum mechanics is beyond complex, and religion has a little or nothing to do with the other two. So comes off as r/I'm 14 and this is deep. Maybe he just thought astrology and astronomy was the same thing? Goddamn legend, absolute beast. I screamed with excitement harder than a coach maybe. The definition of beast is an animal, especially a large or dangerous four-footed one. You're using this word incorrectly. As a scientist, I know how these things work down to the very quark. Please fix your act up. And that's the most downvoted post that I've ever seen. I'm glad I learned Chinese by myself when I was 10 for fun. Plot twist, Chinese kid. God, why was I born with a brain that makes perfect arguments, feats of logic and reason? Only to be doomed to a plant of credence that just talk crap and don't think it through? Our entire life, from beginning to end, is a fairy tale of our devising. Choose a happy ending. Freak, choose a happy middle too. You're the other. Discussing the nature of love and life. Did you just card yourself on Facebook? Good lordy. And you don't need to card yourself on Facebook or Twitter. The fact that you're posting it in your account automatically does that. Friend, what are you up to? Me? Listening to some binaural beats, reading up to quantum energy, releasing ancestral attachments, and centering my chakras. You? Friend. And that friend finds someone new to hang out with. Blocks most media coming into China. Speaking of such things as Tencent, don't you know in 1984 book Dumbspeak is a thing? Which involves shortening words? And that 18th century British child workers had 18,000 more words at disposal than most average Americans. Use spaces between lines. Shortening isn't better. What are you talking about? And this is called Newspeak. My IQ is 140. I'm 15. Sorry to break it to you, but you might be a bit on the special end. Congrats bro, I won a medal? Everyone really cares. Reply. Where's my medal? I wanted gold and with the words, I'm smarter than all of you, Estran. Thanks, I want it by Monday or else. His IQ is 140 and his social intelligence is 40. Being intelligent is difficult. I do not recommend it. Yeah, at least he takes his own advice. I'm a 13-year-old atheist and it's funny seeing the minds in Twitch chat entertained by children's video game. Whenever Pokesam or Omega Lol, I'm studying the works of Plato, Sun Tzu, Richard, and Mortimer, etc. and expanding my knowledge. Guess who will have the better job in 10 years? The guy who just wasted time writing 7 lines on Twitch, which will be overlooked by other comments, is talking about who is going to have a better job? If you watched this far, I believe you must have enjoyed watching this video. So if you could leave a like and subscribe to this channel, that would help this channel to a great extent. I'll see you all in the next video. Have a great day.